Cale Conley wisely choosing the inside line once again. Brett Moffitt will start on his outside. Corey LaJoie, Darrell Wallace Jr. making up row number 2. Coming out of turn number 4, the pace car makes the hard left turn, leaving the field back in the hands of the 47. Green flag back in the air.
See Moffitt trying to stay even with Conley, not able to do it, though. He saw Conley get the advantage at the entrance of turn number 1.
Corey LaJoie trying to get to the back of that 47, not able to do it. That opens the door for the 11 of Brett Moffitt. He'll take second back over. Corey LaJoie drops back to the 3rd spot. Great side-by-side battle here. Kyle Larson on the outside, Brian Ortiz on the inside. Those two battling for position.
See the 31 of Jimmy Weller. He's made his way up into the top 10. Ooh, a little bit of contact with Larson and Jimmy Weller.
Saw the tire smoke there as the two cars got into each other, and it continues.
So easy to knock a valve stem out of one of those tires when you make contact like that.
Weller was able to get in front of that 6 of Kyle Larson. We'll see if he's able to hang on to the spot and if there's any tire damage, as you mentioned.
See Sergio Pena now has made his way back up in a battle for the top 10. Remember, he spun early, lost a lap, got the Aaron's lucky dog back in contention now.
Sergio Pena holding on to the 10th spot just behind him. Contact's made. Brandon Godovic in the 46 goes by as it looked like a problem with the 1, and then more problems, the 8 of Jorge Arteaga.
Arteaga has made tremendous contact with the outside wall. We're going to stay green. And did it narrow that car up?
He got to the infield before caution needed to come out, so that allows Cale Conley to stay out front of the 11 of Brett Moffitt by at least 2 car lengths as he continues to dominate here at Columbus Motor Speedway.
Here these guys continue to battle. Ryan Gifford, the 2 on the outside. Godovic, the 46 on the inside. I think Godovic has some damage from that earlier collision.
Well, and it looked as though there was a problem with Sergio Pena. It looked as he slowed on the racetrack because Godovic ducked to the inside, and we saw Ryan Gifford on the outside split that one of Sergio Pena. So looks like issues for quite a few cars on the racetrack now. Let's go back to Derek Perniciglio.
And we really have to give a call to Jimmy Weller in that number 31 car. For the majority of the races that he's run this year, he's finished better than he started, but he hasn't gotten those top 5s or top 10s that he's needed. When I talked to him earlier today, he said he feels really confident. The performance is there with the race car and the teams. We just haven't gotten those top 5s or top 10s, which should be coming very soon.
Good strong run going so far, running up in the top 10 right now. And what a battle we have here.
And around goes the 2 of Gifford. Looks as though the 1 of Sergio Pena got right to the back bumper. Not sure if contact was made, but Gifford goes around and the caution comes out again.
Those guys were battling really, really hard. There's just slight contact between the 1 of Pena and the 2 of Gifford.
And Pena was just behind these guys as they were continuing to battle side by side. Godovic was on the inside, Gifford on the outside, and Pena was just behind them.
Bad news for Cale Conley, going to have yet another restart. Let's watch this now. You see, looked like Gifford got a little bit loose, Rick, entering the corner. And when he did, that slowed his momentum enough that Sergio made just a slight bit of contact.
Yeah, and we saw Sergio get sideways, too, as he was entering the turn. So it looked like he was loose as well as we see it again.
Godovic was sideways when he entered the corner.
Daniel Suarez in the 14 threading the needle. They're able to stay to the inside of a spinning Ryan Gifford. So the field needs to line back up once again. That means that Cale Conley and Brett Moffitt will go side by side when the green flag flies here on Speed. Once again, Cale Conley would be put to the test for another restart. Brett Moffitt will be on his outside. In row 2, Corey LaJoie, Darrell Wallace Jr. looking for any opportunity to pounce, but the 47 has not faltered all race. Green flag back in the air.
And he knows with Brett Moffitt out there, that's the leading winner of everybody active right now in this series. Conley has the lead again. Corey LaJoie trying to get to the inside. He got by Moffitt.
Brett Moffitt, 9 wins for his career. Now Corey LaJoie, the first time, has been able to get the nose underneath the 47 of Cale Conley. Can he make the pass? Conley so strong as he comes off the turn. He'll be able to hold on to the lead.
There's that bite up off the corner that he's had this entire race. Corey was able to drive to his inside, get beside him. Cale just motored away from him off the corner.
Corey LaJoie able to take second away, but a little bump there from the 11 of Brett Moffitt, and now Darrell Wallace Jr. goes to the inside of Moffitt, looking for position. Contact's made there. There's a little smoke coming between those two cars.
They rub all the way down the front straightaway. Wallace on the inside, Moffitt on the outside. More contact.
You know, these two have traded paint before on short tracks. Let's see if it gets settled here as you see smoke still coming out of the right side of that 18 of Darrell Wallace Jr.
Ortiz and Ben Kennedy were side by side. Now Kennedy's going to slide into the inside right behind Ortiz, right in front of Larson.
Great battle for third continues. Moffitt not giving an inch. Wallace all the way up the racetrack, making Brent Moffitt go very high around this track.
Remember, these guys have raced here before. Wallace was a winner last year. Moffitt came in third.
Darrell Wallace Jr. working the inside. Moffitt continues to battle on the outside, has a nose just in front of the 18.
Moffitt's not giving up. Darrell Wallace Jr. is trying to push him up the hill, try to get him out of the groove. Moffitt's hung in there.
Moffitt hanging tough on the outside. Now way up the racetrack goes Darrell Wallace Jr. That allows him to take the position. Moffitt drops back behind him.
That's called using somebody up. Darrell Wallace Jr. pushed him up the hill, got him out of the groove. He knows with 20 laps to go, every pass counts.
Now Brian Ortiz behind that 11 of Moffitt. Moffitt still tracking that 18 of Darrell Wallace Jr. This might not be over.
I think Moffitt has the better car right now. He has shown to have the better car tonight. You see, Cale Connolly now has opened up about 10 car lengths over Corey LaJoie.
Now you talk about a better car. How about the best car? And that has definitely been the 47.
Oh, flat tire for Kyle Larson, and he gets right in the back of.
How about Larson making the hard left turn, and we stay green? So Larson moves into the pits. He's got a flat tire and damage to the right rear.
We've had flat tires for second and third in points. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson both had trouble.
And here it goes once again, the battle for position. Darrell Wallace Jr., Brent Moffitt. Moffitt all over the back bumper. Now a little sheet metal to the inside of that 18.
Yeah, I don't think Moffitt's going to worry too much about using that right front corner.
Yeah, let's think back to what took place at Bowman Gray Stadium earlier this year. The 18 got into the back of the 11.
And it didn't stop there either, Rick.
Oh, yeah. Will it be payback tonight? The two had some differences on the racetrack just after the checkered flag flew. And now we see a little bit of a turn of events. Right behind Darrell Wallace Jr., the 11 of Brent Moffitt.
You can see how hard Darrell Wallace Jr. is driving, how hard Brent Moffitt's driving. These guys are going to carry this battle to the nationwide race at Iowa here coming up soon. Brent Moffitt's going to make his debut. Darrell Wallace Jr. made his debut last time they were in Iowa, finished in the top 10.
A little bit of smoke just in front of these two, but it's a tire rub is all we're seeing now. The 18 of Darrell Wallace Jr., the 11 of Brent Moffitt continuing to battle for position. Just 13 laps of racing to go. In that smoke just in front of him, just in front of our race leader, the 47 of Cale Conley. That's Kyle Larson. He came back out on the racetrack, but has had problems since he came back out.
I think he has another flat tire.
So Larson's going to try to make the hard left turn once again to get back on pit road. Cale Conley doesn't want to restart. He's got a big gap now over second place Corey LaJoie.
Yeah, just outside of 10 laps to go for Cale Conley. He just would love to see this thing go green the rest of the way.
Cale Conley now has some slower lap traffic between him and second place LaJoie. 10 laps of racing to go.
He's been able to open up such a lead because of those guys racing so hard back for second. Look at them. They're almost a half a lap behind.
And Kyle Larson back on pit road, but again, the right rear tire flat on that race car.
It just keeps getting worse for Kyle Larson here.
Yeah, things just are not helping out that young man. Cale Conley out in front has almost a 10 car length lead over Corey LaJoie, who's running second.
And that lead is increasing, Rick. I'm not sure that Corey LaJoie doesn't have some sort of an issue. Look at, he's on the outside with a flat tire.
The field working the way around him. Second place Corey LaJoie dropping back rapidly because he has a problem as well. It looks like his right front tire's down.
You see a little bit, he's made some contact with somebody that may have cut that tire down. 3 of our top 4 in points have all had flat tires in this race.
The final 7 laps wind down. We stay green. Cale Conley out in front. Corey LaJoie now has made it onto pit road. Sergio Pena in the 1, chasing after Brian Ortiz in the 4.
Suarez, the 14, right behind Pena. These guys racing up in the top 10.
Darrell Wallace Jr. still in front of that 11. But here comes Brent Moffitt in the 11. Makes his way to the inside of the 18 as they battle for second.
Darrell Walsh Jr. opened up the bottom for Moffitt. Moffitt took advantage of it.
A very clean pass by Brent Moffitt. Didn't look like they traded paint at all that time, and Moffitt gets by the 18.
Darrell tried to fight back, tried to turn back under Moffitt, but wasn't able to do it. You see Corey LaJoie back on the racetrack, right in front of our leader.
Corey LaJoie now a couple laps down after having to come to pit road because of a flat tire. Cale Conley continues to dominate. 3 laps of racing to go.
I'm sure David Hyder is telling Cale Conley on the radio, you don't have to worry with a 0-7. He's a couple laps down now. You've got a huge lead. Just bring it home.
The last 2 races, Cale Conley finishes 3rd and then 2nd. Can he improve on that position tonight? 2 laps to go for Conley.
He has not put a wheel in the wrong position this entire race. What a dominating performance. 1 to go.
White flag goes in the air. 1/3 of a mile for Cale Conley, looking for his first ever win in the K&N Pro Series East. It's going to happen at Columbus Motor Speedway. Cale Conley comes out of turn number 4 and wins the JEGS 150.
Incredible performance by Cale Conley, that entire team. Brett Moffitt comes home 2nd. Darrell Wallace Jr. 3rd.
Cale Conley, after starting on the outside of the front row, made a power move on Ben Kennedy and led the first lap and never relinquished the lead. He was up front all 150 laps.
That's a pretty good way to win your first race. Lead every single lap.
Dominant performance, and the crowd appreciates it.
I think Emma Blaney, Cale's girlfriend, appreciates you too. That's her in the middle.